Have you ever felt someone so deeply, someone you're trying to forget but can't? It's like they live inside you, even from a distance. Maybe, in Allah's plan, you're not the only one feeling this way. Maybe that person is thinking of you in exactly the same way. Today, we'll explore 5 subtle signs that show you both feel each other from the depths of your hearts. And these feelings are not ordinary. They are a miraculous connection, one only Allah can create. Sign 1. You both start making dua at the same time. When Allah wants to connect 2 hearts, He doesn't start with the hands. He starts with the hearts in sujud. You may be kneeling in the darkness after Fajr, whispering, Ya Allah, if this person is good for my deen, my heart and my akhirah, bring them closer, and somewhere else, maybe even far away. There, sitting quietly, feeling a pull in their soul, whispering, Ya Allah, if they are written for me, open the door. If not, protect me. 2 hearts, miles apart, but at the exact same moment, both are turned to the same Qibla, calling on the same Lord. With the same prayer, Allah says, He is the one who brings hearts together. Surah Al-Anfal 8:63. That moment of shared dua, it's not an accident, it's not infatuation, it's divine alignment. Because when love begins with dua, it carries the scent of sincerity and the blessing of being watched by the most merciful. If your hearts are speaking to Allah at the same time, maybe it's because He is the one writing your story. Sign 2. When you think of them, they suddenly appear, somehow. You're focused, reading Quran, or maybe just sitting in quiet reflection, and suddenly, their name appears, a random message, a mention in a conversation, their name scrolling across your screen, and your heart whispers, Ya Allah, I was trying to forget. But what if Allah doesn't want you to forget? What if He wants you to pause, not erase? In that moment, you're not chasing them, you're not looking for signs, but the reminder still finds you, because sometimes, when Allah wants 2 hearts to remain aware of each other, He allows small moments to keep the memory alive. It's not obsession, it's not weakness, it's preservation. Preservation of something that may matter in your future. But not yet. Allah says, and the command of your Lord is ever fulfilled with wisdom. Surah Hud 11:119. So if your heart trembles at a reminder, don't rush to label it as a mistake. Maybe it's not time to move on. Maybe it's time to trust that Allah is writing a story. You just haven't read the next chapter yet. Sign 3. You both feel like something is unfinished. Maybe you haven't spoken in weeks. Maybe the silence has lasted months. Maybe they moved on. But still, your heart whispers, this can't be how it ends. There's a restlessness in your soul. Not drama, not desperation. Just silence that feels too loud. You try to distract yourself. They probably do too. But that quiet ache, that void, doesn't leave. And no matter how much the world keeps moving, you both carry an unfinished sentence in your hearts. What if that feeling isn't just emotion? What if it's Allah's way of keeping something sacred alive until the right time? You see, when a chapter is truly over, Allah gives the heart closure. But if the wound is still open, maybe it's because the page hasn't been turned yet. Quran says, and your Lord creates what He wills and chooses. Not for them was the choice. Surah Al-Qasas 28:68. So this ache, it might not mean, go back. But it might mean don't rush forward yet, even apart. You both feel the same emptiness. Not because you're lost, but because the author of your story hasn't finished writing. Sign 4. Allah places softness in your heart for them. Even after the silence, even after the pain, your heart still chooses gentleness. You could be angry. You could ignore their name. You could delete every memory. But instead, you pause, you pray, you forgive. Allah says, He joins the hearts. If you had spent all that is on earth, you could not have joined their hearts. But Allah brought them together. Surah Al-Anfal 8:63. So if your heart still holds mercy, if you still want the best for them, even when you're not speaking, that's not weakness. That's divine softness. Love is not always in words or presence. Sometimes it's in silent du'as that say, Ya Allah, if they're not meant for me, still give them peace. That kind of mercy, only Allah can plant it. Because when someone is written into your qadr, Allah doesn't allow your heart to harden against them. He teaches it patience. He teaches it rahmah. So if you still feel softness, even when the world tells you to let go, maybe your soul knows something your mind doesn't yet understand. Sign 5. Whenever you ask Allah about your destiny, they come to mind. You kneel in prayer, asking for peace, for clarity, for the one who will walk with you toward Jannah. And just as you whisper, Ya Allah, write what is best for me, their face appears. Not because you're obsessed, not because you're weak, but maybe because Allah is still writing something sacred. Allah says, and it may be that you dislike a thing which is good for you, and you love a thing which is bad for you. Allah knows, and you do not know. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:16. So when your heart brings them up, right when you talk to Allah about your future, don't rush to dismiss it. It could be a test, or a reminder, or even a promise yet to unfold. Maybe Allah placed them in your heart, not to distract you, but to develop you, to refine your love into something pure, to teach you sabr before togetherness, to remind you that real love begins in sujud, long before it arrives in this dunya. If they're part of your qadr, they won't just be a thought in prayer, they'll be the answer to it. And Allah will bring it to life at the exact moment it's meant to bloom. Closing message. Trust the divine timing. Love becomes pure when it's anchored in your faith in Allah, not rushed, not desperate, just patiently waiting, fully trusting. If someone keeps returning to your thoughts, maybe it's not a coincidence. Maybe it's a soft nudge from your Lord. Be patient, prepare, and trust me. Because if both of you are remembering each other at the same time, through dua, through dreams, through quiet moments, it's no longer just emotion. It might be something divine. Allah says, He creates what He wills, and He chooses. Surah Al-Qasas 28:68. And when Allah chooses to unite two hearts, nothing, not time, not distance, not confusion, can prevent it. Dear brothers and sisters, if someone is in your heart and you've chosen patience over panic, if you're trusting Allah more than your own desires, then type in the comments below, I completely trust Allah's timing, because what's written for you will find you, without force, without fear, only with faith. Jazakum. Allahu khairan. May Allah grant your heart what is best, in the perfect way, at the perfect time.